Hi, fourth grade. So we are now on our Module 7, Lesson 1 assignment, or lesson together. We're going to be representing division with regrouping. Now, we're not going to draw the pictures because we did that. How many lessons ago? We did that way back in Module 6. We're going to continue with the long division and partial products that we've been doing. And then I'm going to be transitioning you to the standard algorithm for long division. We're not going to go backwards and try to draw pictures when we know how to do this with the partial products, okay? So where it says represent with pictures or whatever, we're not doing that, just so you're aware. So when we're done, you're going to be able to represent and record division problems with a one-digit divisor and regrouping. Danny manages a charter boat business. She has these fishing lures for 3 boats. She wants to put the same number of lures on each boat. How many lures should Danny put on each boat? So we can see that each package has how many lures in it? 10 lures, right, in each package. And she has 4 packages. So in the packages, she has 40 lures, but then she's got some extras. So she has 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. She has 48 lures. And she wants to evenly separate them through the 3 boats. So this would be, our division problem would be 48 divided by 3. Now remember, when we were doing our division with partial products, we would write our 48, and then our symbol is divided by, and remember we draw our line so it separates the work we do over here with the work we do inside. Okay? The work on the outside is we are adding, the work on the inside we are subtracting. And we're dividing it all by 3. So whenever I start my division, I'm always going to look at my number in the largest place value. So I can see that it's a 4. Because it's a 4, I know that I could multiply my 3 by 10, because this is a 2-digit number, right? I could multiply my 3 by 10, and that's going to give me 30. So whatever I write over here, remember I'm going to multiply by the number here on the outside. So 10 times 3 gives me 30. So inside, now I'm going to subtract because I'm trying to bring my 48 down to be a number less than 3. So my number, when I subtract, the last number I get to needs to be a 2, a 1, or a 0. If it's a 2 or 1, it's going to be my remainder. But if it's 0, there will be no remainder. Okay? So now I subtract. 8 minus 0 is 8. 4 minus 3 is 1. Now, is there anything times 3 that equals 18? Because notice in my tens place, it's a 1. So I know I can't do another 10. So now I'm going to be going to my single digit. What times 3 equals 18? I know that 6 times 3 equals 18. 6 times 3, 18. And when I subtract, I get a 0. So that means I do not have a remainder for this problem. So now I come over here and I add these 2 numbers up. 10 plus 6 is 16. So how many lures should Danny put on each boat? 16 lures. Okay? So that's kind of like a remembering from last week, right? A reminder from last week on how we solve those problems. So now we have Frank, and he owns a charter boat business. He buys 56 fishing rods. Frank divides the rods equally among his 4 boats. How many fishing rods does each boat get? We are not using base 10 blocks. We are just going to divide 56 divided by 4. And the same thing, we're not going to do this down here. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my book, because I like that the book it can go in this direction. When I'm doing my long division, I've got a lot of space to do my work. If I'm in the other direction, it's super short, right? I'm not going to have as much work or as much room. So I have 56, and it's divided by the number 4. So again, I look in my tens place, right? I have a 2-digit number. I look in my tens place. My 5 is bigger than my 4. So I know I can use a 10. because 10 fours, right? 10 times 4 is 40. So now I can subtract. 6 minus 0 is 6. 5 minus 4 is 1. So now I have 16. So the number in my tens place is smaller than my 4. So now I think, what number times 4 gets me to 16 as close as I can without going over? Well, 4 times 4 is 16, right? So then I have a 0. So I got down to lower than 4, and I don't have a remainder. So I add my two numbers up. 10 plus 4 equals 14. So my answer is 14 fishing rods. So each boat is going to get 14 fishing rods. Alrighty, so now we are going to come over to step it out. Now, what I want you to do is, we are not doing this. We're going to continue with our long division, okay? So we're not going to do this. But I do want you to solve 85 divided by 3. So if you need a separate sheet of paper, you could use it, or you could just use, like, I'm going to turn my book, and I'm going to use this space right here. Oops. But I've got to get you so you can see it. So I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to say 85 divided by 3. Okay, so looking in my tens place, I notice I have an 8. How many 3s are in an 8? Aren't there 2? So instead of doing a 10, for this one, couldn't I do a 20? Isn't 20 times 3 60? Right? So now I'm not doing a ton of 10s, right? I just need to do a 20. 20 times 3 is 60. Because I'm trying to find the best numbers to multiply by 3 so I can get this down as low as I can. 5 minus 0 is 5. 8 minus 6 is 2. So now I have 25. So now in my tens place I have a 2, which is smaller than 3. So now I need to think, what times 3 is going to get me as close to 25 as I can without going over? What times 3 is going to get me close to 25 without going over? Couldn't I do 8? Isn't 8 times 3 24? That gets me pretty close. I just have one more to go. But it's less than 3, so I can't do any more work. So this is going to end up being my remainder. So I add these two numbers up, so I'll have 28. So my answer is going to be 28 with a remainder of 1. 28 with a remainder of 1. Okay? Alrighty. And you could write that down here at 28, remainder 1. All right. So we are now on Lana. Lana has 76 sand dollars. She puts the same number in 4 boxes. How many sand dollars are in each box? We're not going to use base 10 bucks. We're just going to divide. Okay? So we could use this if we wanted to, right? We could use this as our division, and we could write our numbers on the side, and then we've got places to subtract. So I see that my 4, I could probably just do 1, right? One group of 4, or one group of 4 tens, so that would be one group of 40. So I would have 10 times 4 is 40. 6 minus 0 is 6. 7 minus 4 is 3. So I have 36. So I have a 3 in my tens place. So now I need to think, what times 4 is going to get me close to 36 without going over? Well, I know I can do 9 times 4, which is 36. So that gets me to 0. So I have no remainder. So when I add these two up, I get 19. So my answer is there are 19 sand dollars in each box. Right? 19 sand dollars in each box. Okay. So now we're on the on your own section. So if you want to do this independently, you can, or you can, and then come back and check your work, or you could stay right with me and do the work with me. Again, we're not drawing the quick pictures or using the base 10 blocks. We already did that with division. We're past that, right? We don't need to do that anymore. We're ready to jump right in without pictures, okay? Marco puts all of his scallop shells in 6 jars. He puts the same number in each jar. How many scallop shells are in each jar? So we need to look. Here's his shell collection, and we need just the scallop shells. So just the scallop shells is 96. And he's putting them all in 6 jars. So I'm going to divide 96 by 6, right? We're dividing all the scallop shells into 6 different jars. So my 6 is smaller than my 9, but I can't do more than 1 6, right? There's only 1 6 in there. So I'm going to do 10. 10 times 6 is 60. Then I subtract. 6 minus 0 is 6. 9 minus 6 is 3. Now, what times 6 gets me to 36? 6 does, right? This is why we need to know our multiplication facts. This is why we need to know them super fast. Getting that green light every day on reflex is important. So 6 times 6 is 36. 36 minus 36 is 0. So I get down to a 0, so I know there's no remainder. So I add these two up, and I get 16. So how many scallop shells are in each jar? 16 scallop shells. All right, number 3. We're actually going to skip number 6. Number 3, 56 divided by 4. Okay, 4, and I've got a 5 here, so now I can do a 10. 10 times 4 is 40. 6 minus 0 is 6. 5 minus 4 is 1. 4 times what is going to give me 16? 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16, so look at that, no remainder. So when I add those up, I get 14. So 56 divided by 4 is 14. 85 divided by 7. I have 10 minus 7 is 70, right? Minus 5 minus 0 is 5. 8 minus 7 is 1. 7 times what is going to get me close to 15 without going over? Can I do 2 17s? Or 2 7s, I mean? Because 2 times 7 is 14. So 15 minus 14 equals 1. So this is going to be my remainder. It's less than 7. I just need to get this number less than 7. So I add these two up, and I get 12 with a remainder of 1. So my answer is 12, R1. And my last problem, 38 divided by 6. Now, let's look at this one. 3 is less than 6, so I can't use 10, right? Because 10 times 6 is 60, so it's too big. So what times 6 is going to get me close to 38 without going over? What about 6? 6 times 6 is 36. And then I have a 2. My 2 is less than my 6, so that's my remainder. So my answer is 6 with a remainder of 2. 6R2. Okay? So you are going to do 7.1 for your independent work. Do not draw the pictures. Just cross that part out. You're not going to need to use base 10 blocks or quick pictures. So you don't need to do any of that. So you're going to do 7.1. The only question you do not need to do is number 7. Okay? So you could X out number 7 on that black and white worksheet. You do not have to do that one. When you are finished, please take a picture of the front and the back and either attach it to this lesson, send it to me through email or through my phone, or drop it off to school so that I can grade it. So that way we have this as a grade. All right, thank you very much. That's the last lesson for this week. We'll pick up module 7. Lesson 2 is pretty big, so we're going to save that one for next week. All right, thank you. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.